What's good, y'all? It's your boy Sean P. the Blunt Guy. Hey! And today we will be reacting to Marshall D. Preach. The title of this video is No Way. If this is why Buggy became a Yonko, Roger would be proud. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Also subscribe. Follow me on Twitch and Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Also join the Discord and the One Piece Facebook group. Also, leave a comment on what you think about the video. What you think about what I said, what you think about what Preach said. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let us know in the comments. So let's get into it. Make sure you guys also show Marshall D. Preach some love. The link will be in the description box. Let's go.
Big as Buggy become a Yonko. We're talking about a literal clown being put in the same conversation as Luffy, Shanks, and Blackbeard. What if I told you the real reason why the world is so terrified of Buggy's military might is because he joined forces with the Dark King Silver's Rayleigh himself and the remnants of the Roger Pirates. And after all of
Okay. See, I don't know, because Rayleigh seems like he's retired. You know what I'm saying? Like, Rayleigh seems like he's retired for good. But if he does have Rayleigh on his squad, right? If he does have Rayleigh on his crew, Rayleigh does know how to get the laugh tail. So, like, talking about Buggy getting the laugh tail, having Rayleigh would definitely be one way he can get there. Well, let's get into it.
this, the news is painting him as the mastermind behind this alliance. And what if I also told you that Buggy has already gotten his hands on one of the ancient weapons? I know this all sounds ridiculous and exciting.
Now, Buggy getting his hands on an ancient weapon, that would definitely be a game changer. But which one, right? Now, I think that one's easy to deduce because we know Shirahoshi. We know Poseidon is Shirahoshi. I don't think Buggy has kidnapped Shirahoshi. I don't think Buggy's that type of person, right? Pluton, we know Pluton is at Wano at the moment. You would literally have to destroy the borders in order to have access to Pluton. So that only leaves one left. Uranus. Now, me personally, I think Uranus is somewhere in like one of the Sky Islands. So I don't know how Buggy would have gotten it. But, you know, I'm going to hear Marshall D. Preach out and hear his theory. Let's continue.
So you're going to want to stay tuned to the very end of the video because this will all come together by the end. So hit that like button and subscribe and let me explain to you why Buggy will have one of the most terrifying armies the One Piece world has ever seen. In chapter 1053, we received the shocking reveal that Buggy is now a Yonko. And there have been plenty of theories, speculation. Was he the pirate that Shanks brought up while speaking to the Godase? Did the warlords end up teaming up? And Buggy took credit as the leader of the warlords. But what I actually think is a lot more likely is that we see Rayleigh and the former Roger pirates join up with their former apprentice Buggy D. Clown. First, we must remember what Roger's dream was. As the Pirate King, Roger was obsessed with turning the world upside down, and we even see him bring this up the first time he ever met Rayleigh, as he claims that it was a fated meeting. And I will bring this up later in the video, so keep it at the back of your mind for now. Next, we see during Wano how the Roger pirates traveled to Laugh Tale, and Roger says he was too early. But Buggy, as you might remember, was too sick to go with them to Laugh Tale. So one idea that I've had is
You know what would be like the ultimate swerve for One Piece? Like for the ending of One Piece? If neither Luffy or Blackbeard get the One Piece, and it does in fact be Buggy the Clown, right? If it's Buggy, he end up getting the One Piece and becoming Pirate King, bro, that would be the ultimate swerve in One Piece. The whole story of One Piece. Just imagine us following this story for 20 plus years, right? 20 plus years, expecting Luffy to achieve his dream of being Pirate King and finding the One Piece. But it ends up being Buggy. That would be a classic. That would be a classic. Cube said, Buggy is a messiah. He's more than a clown. I've seen the light. Angel laughing. Cube got a candle clown? Okay. I don't know what the candle is signifying. Angel says, seems like Rayleigh has also seen the light, Cube. And then Cube said, of course, even a Dark King can see the light. I don't think Rayleigh joined though. I think Rayleigh is retired. I think he's done. I think his pirating days are done. But if Buggy somehow did join up with if Rayleigh did somehow join up with Buggy, then he does know where Laugh-Tale is, right? He was at Laugh-Tale, so that would make sense for Buggy finding his way to Laugh-Tale. Let's continue.
That Buggy will eventually make it to Laugh-Tale around the same time as Luffy. After all, Shanks did say that one day they would go with their own cruise. If you remember how Rayleigh was always willing to give Robin and Luffy the information about Laugh-Tale, the history, and even the One Piece itself, it shows that he's not necessarily trying to hide this information. If Buggy and Rayleigh were ever to meet, I'm sure Buggy would ask him about the One Piece and where to find it. He's a treasure hunter at heart and a former Roger pirate, so I don't see a real reason why Rayleigh wouldn't tell him. This could also fit into the idea that all four of the Yonko could arrive in Laugh-Tale: Blackbeard, Shanks, Buggy, and Luffy.
See, if you asked me like 3 weeks ago, who would make it to Laugh-Tale, I probably would have argued that it would have been Luffy and Blackbeard. I think those two were the prime candidates of making it to Laugh-Tale. You know, I don't think maybe Law if he was with Luffy, you know, because I've heard people talk about Law possibly going with Luffy to Laugh-Tale, but I don't think Law would make it there himself, him or Kid. Blackbeard, I think Blackbeard is very likely. I think Blackbeard is I think there's two ways that Blackbeard could find his way to Laugh-Tale. Either A, if my theory is right about Blackbeard having multiple personalities or multiple souls, and one of those personalities / souls being Zebek, right? Because I think Zebek knows so much, right? Like Zebek probably knew how to get to Laugh-Tale. So if he did and he's living within Blackbeard, he would probably assist Blackbeard to get to Laugh-Tale. But then again, Blackbeard probably would already been at Laugh-Tale by now. But that doesn't mean that Zebek doesn't know how to, like the method, like how to find a way to get to Laugh-Tale, right? And the other way is because Blackbeard is also like a archaeologist or an anthropologist. I forget what he was, or Oda said he would have been like career-wise. So that kind of made me think Blackbeard's kind of like Robin. So if that is the case, maybe Blackbeard could read poneglyphs as well. You know, that could be the case. Now, if I never believed that Shanks would get the Laugh-Tale though. Like, but now that we know that Shanks is actively searching the One Piece, like Shanks said it himself, which I didn't think that was Shanks's goal. But Shanks said it himself that he's after the One Piece. So that makes me think that, yes, he could potentially arrive at Laugh-Tale as well. And speaking of Buggy, you know, if Buggy had Rayleigh on his crew, or if he asked Rayleigh and Rayleigh told him, I guess he could make it to Laugh-Tale that way as well. But I think it would be better for Buggy, for his character, if let's say he accidentally stumbled upon Laugh-Tale, right? Or if let's say he was searching for Captain John's treasure this whole time. Let's say he finds it. Maybe Captain John had something in his treasure that can assist with finding Laugh-Tale. Like maybe if there was some type of eternal log post that people don't really know about that Captain John found, you know, and it was part of the treasure. Let's go.
So now, why do I think Rayleigh would ally with Buggy? Well, like I mentioned earlier, he is Roger's right-hand man and even went out of his way to train Luffy, who reminded him of Roger. So at the end of the day, I believe that he wants to continue Roger's will as the one who was the closest one as the vice captain. The vice captain embodies the captain to their fullest extent while also pushing their ambitions and goals to the forefront. When you think about Roger speaking about the golden age of pirates and giving hope to the world, telling everyone to find his treasure, the One Piece, it seems as Roger also intended on leaving a mark behind, an era of chaos and piracy, and a legend for all the most powerful pirates to see. What I think Roger really wanted though was to see the future era of the next Joy Boy and what he would create, how he would turn the world upside down in the end. In the anime, Roger asked Riley if he accomplished Roger's goal of turning the world upside down, and Rayleigh said that he did, but it seems like Roger was not yet fully satisfied. It was almost as if there was more for him to do, and this is why the opening.
And I kind of disagree though with the idea of Rayleigh helping Buggy. You know, I kind of disagree with that idea. And one reason is because I if I remember correctly, I believe Buggy himself said he's not after the One Piece. You know, and I mean that could change, I guess, but I don't think it changed. So if it hasn't changed, why would he go asking Rayleigh? You know, why would he go ask Rayleigh where the One Piece is? Now, we do know, I could be wrong though, because at the end of the day, Buggy loves treasure, right? And One Piece is still a treasure. So, you know, that it could still be the case. You know, like Buggy could want it simply because it's a treasure. So I could be wrong. But I do remember Buggy saying he wasn't after it. And his main goal was Captain John's treasure.
The scene of One Piece is so important because it's after this speech before the world government takes his head that planted the final seeds that would make his dreams a reality. And now during this era of Joy Boy, we see that Rayleigh said the straw hat fits Luffy even better than Roger, and you can see the hope in his eyes that Luffy will be the one to accomplish this. Like Whitebeard also said, someone will carry on the will of Roger and all the previous generations. During the scene in Sabaody where Luffy is going to Fishman Island, we also see that Rayleigh thinks of his captain in their first meeting, and this actually leads me to think why he will form an alliance with Buggy. First, the obvious answer is that they already know each other and are powerful forces in the world of One Piece. And maybe Buggy not so much, but his influence is something that should never be overlooked. The next reason is because Buggy is a treasure pirate and Rayleigh could offer him the location of the One Piece like I said, or even exclusive information of how to get to Laugh-Tale. Third, we have because Shanks said that him and Buggy would go to Laugh-Tale one day. And finally, Rayleigh may want to play a part in the final war as someone who helps finalize Roger's dream. Now, quickly before we dive more into this idea and why I think it makes so much sense, subscribe and hit that bell like Luffy and Skypiea if you're enjoying the video so far. It really goes a long way to help support the channel as we continue.
The link to the channel will be in the description box below. So y'all guys, make sure y'all go show Marshall D. Preach some love. Let's go.
To grow. And also, if you enjoy our content and would like to support us even more, check out our Patreon where we are hosting exclusive One Piece podcasts discussing every chapter, our thoughts and theories and speculation as I go back and forth with my good friend Wizard of Wars. So go check it out, hit the link in the description. Now back to the video. If you think about Goldie Roger and his crew, it is the greatest crew. From a pirate perspective, there are not many other characters as piratey as this group. And we have plenty of videos on this channel explaining why the Roger pirates learned of the future events and prophecies at Laugh-Tale, with Whitebeard's prophesized war and now Akainu declaring that he will fight back, showing that a global war is around the horizon. I'm expecting many legends to creep up from the shadows and take part in this. Remember that we don't know much about the remaining Roger pirates, but if anyone was to gather them for this final event, it would be the Dark King himself. Unlike most first mates, he actually maintains the respect as
I can see that happening though. I can see Rayleigh bringing in, like, what's his name, Scopper Caban, and all the other old crew members outside of like Shanks and maybe Buggy. Maybe have them come and like join Luffy. But yeah, I can see something like that happening. I can see something like that happening. Like Rayleigh just showing up, like yeah, I'm ready to fight too, man. Let's get it. Maybe Rayleigh and Kizaru, we could see a rematch where they actually have like a full on fight. You know what I mean? That might be dope right there, right? I'm down for it. I'm here for it. Let's go.
As a vice captain, that puts him in a very different role. Vice captains essentially gives him the authority to make decisions that are the best interest of the Roger Pirates and the crew as a whole. We could very well see Gaban and Crocus show up with the other members supporting their old Nakama Buggy, as they will know that he is not really as powerful as the world may view him. In a story that involves coming together for the final war, it could really amplify Buggy's legacy and the return of the Roger Pirates.
Yo, you know it would be a dope moment, right? You know it'd be a dope moment. Buggy shows up to this war. He shows up to this war just with him and his crew. Like he's just showing up to this war. You know, maybe not like interested in fighting, but I don't know. He shows up, and then like right behind him, Rayleigh and all the other old members of the Roger Pirates show up, and like they didn't intentionally come to support Buggy. They just happen to show up at the same spot as Buggy, right? Like if it happens like that, it's just more of a coincidence type thing. But then everybody's like, yo, Buggy showed up with the Dark King Rayleigh. And there goes Skybrick Bond. Bro, that would be a classic. That would be an epic moment right there. And even have Shank show up along with Buggy, you know. Bruh. But let's go.
We've already seen the alliance of Kaido and Big Mom bringing back the remnants of the rocks, so I would love to see this with one of the most legendary crews of all time, the Roger Pirates. And the real reason why I actually thought of all of this in the first place was simply just me trying to come up with an idea and justification for Buggy becoming a Yonko. What could he have done that was so absurd, so insane to put him on the same pedestal as Shanks and Blackbeard? I mean, just think about Shanks' reputation and how stacked Luffy's crew is. So in my mind, Buggy must have had to do something so insane, so shocking to really put him at that level. In my opinion, simply escaping the warlord abolishment is not enough, but what could have really put him up there with other legends is if the world is recognizing him as the second coming leader of the Roger Pirates, the return of the Pirate King's legacy. Buggy at the forefront could even be looked at as the next Roger had some kind of joke in the world, or at least he may be viewed as the mastermind bringing everyone together. I can just imagine the newspaper releasing an image of Buggy and Rayleigh shaking hands, or finding something out of context showing them joining forces with this criminal underling screaming out, "Buggy, he will be the next king of the pirates." Similar to Sabo, we might witness chants and rioting from around the seas. A fleet of criminals with nothing but admiration and excitement for Buggy's declaration that they will find the One Piece. I've always wondered about Rayleigh and his endgame role and what it could be. He's already trained the future pirate king Luffy, but joining with Buggy
I think Rayleigh is pretty much like retired. I don't think he's going to come back unless, you know, he feels the need to come out of retirement to help the young generation succeed. Like he might just feels like, hey, they may need my assistance, and then that's how it goes. But let's continue.
makes a lot more sense and gives Buggy some powerful allies, and they could potentially free the slaves together like how Rayleigh did when he was first shown in Sabaody, and Buggy and Impel Down gathering criminals and being seen as this guy who took over the underworld, freeing hundreds and hundreds of people. Another possibility is somehow Buggy gets captured or his men get captured and he breaks out of Impel Down for a second time, being the only character to do this twice. So I kind of get the idea of a
Hey, what did I say? Like I said one thing about Buggy accidentally stumbling across Laugh Tale, right? Let's say he gets captured. Let's say he gets captured a second time and escapes a second time. We know that Impel Down is right next to Ennis Lobby, right? Like location wise. So if somehow he ends up in Ennis Lobby, in my theory, like not my theory, but the theory that I believe about Laugh Tale somehow being under in this lobby in that waterfall is correct, right? He can accidentally fall down, like maybe he's trying to escape Impel Down, he goes through in this lobby and he accidentally falls in that waterfall, right? So, hey, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I feel as though if Buggy finds Laugh Tale, the most Buggy-ish way for it to happen is for him to do it on accident, right? For him to accidentally find Laugh Tale. And I think that would be a perfect accident, right? He escapes Imple down. Laugh Tale is under the Ennis Lobby waterfall. Somehow the ship that he's on, like they have to go through Ennis Lobby, and somehow it falls under that waterfall. Bam, he's at Laugh Tale. Telling you. Let's continue.
Aligning with the warlords. For example, if Boa or Weevil was captured, I could see him breaking them out when he's actually trying to get his crewmates back, but in the end they form an alliance and now we have what we have. And honestly, I do feel like Edward Weevil does fit in with the Buggy crew. He just has that kind of Mr. 3 vibe to him. You can't take him too seriously.
I actually said that. I believe that Edward Weevil, there's two possibilities I believe for Edward Weevil, because I think Edward Weevil is like easily to manipulate, right? I think it's either A, he joins Blackbeard crew, right? Because I think with my theory of Zebek and Blackbeard being connected, I believe that maybe Weevil's mom, I forget her name, like Bobbin, not Bobbin, I forget Weevil's mom. Maybe she will convince Weevil to join the Blackbeard Pirates, and or not convince him, but pretty much tell him that, hey, you're joining these the Blackbeard Pirates, and then bam, he'll be the 10th Titanic captain. That could potentially make him the 10th Titanic captain. Or on the other side of the spectrum, I could see him possibly getting tired of listening to his mom, and somehow he ends up following Buggy, and Buggy is the one to manipulate him. So those are the two things, like my two theories on Edward Weevil. I think he'll either join the Blackbeard Pirates and fill that 10th Titanic captain spot, or he will end up joining Buggy's crew. One of those two. Let's continue.
But he is capable of doing important things. And in return, all of this with the return of the Roger Pirates, breaking people out of prisons, it all makes Buggy a Yonko mastermind as far as having the underworld under control. If you remember, Big News Morgan was also part of the underworld, and he might have some connections here with Buggy, plastering his name all the way to the top of the pirates. Because if Morgan actually does know Buggy and he's trolling him or hyping up his legacy in some way, this would lead into the idea that we can also see that maybe Sabo's story with him killing Cobra is not as black and white as it seems. And with these Roger Pirates essentially coming out of nowhere, it creates even more chaos in the world. Like Admiral Akainu said, the One Piece world is absolutely crazy right now. Another thing is, even if Buggy escaped, he wouldn't have gotten very far. This is why I believe that someone as powerful as the Roger Pirates could actually have helped him. As we know with Luffy, who is traveling the world making allies with kingdoms like Alabasta, Dressrosa, and Zou, we even now have Wano and the military forces of the samurai. And then that brings me in to think about the Roger Pirates, because they were specifically known for traveling the world. One of Roger's greatest feats was circumnavigating the entire world multiple times, giving him the advantage of meeting so many people, sharing his influence throughout the world, and discovering many wonders and mysteries of the One Piece story. And so if Buggy and Silver's Rayleigh team up, you now have the power to travel through uncharted territory. Just imagine how many allies Roger formed when traveling across the seas. We already know that he was friends with Tom, one of the greatest shipwrights of all time, and that's only one of his allies. I don't think that Roger was liberating people to the extent of Luffy and the Straw Hats, but considering that they do have the same dreams and similar personalities, and that Roger said that he wants to see the era of Joy Boy, I could see a good amount of people that Roger did liberate throughout his time in the One Piece world. And this would truly enhance the scale of Buggy and the return of the Roger Pirates. If they're bringing in everyone like Luffy will bring in his allies in the end, we will see one of the greatest fleets the world has ever seen. Another hilarious possibility could be the giant egg on Roger's ship, because in my mind it could be a sea king or a giant snake or a dragon, but whatever you think it is, I have seen many theories in the community that this could be Uranus, an ancient
look, Uranus could be living as well, right? Like maybe it could be some big old bird, kind of like a Pokemon that could control. I have my theories on what Uranus is, right? I have my theories on it. I think it's something related to controlling weather. As far as if it's a living thing, I don't know. I kind of would think it would probably be a machine, possibly, but it could be living as well, right? It could be living as well. But yeah, that the mystery of that egg, that's one of those things that I'll be forgetting about sometimes. But we never got any answers on that, so I am definitely curious on what is in that egg. Let's continue.
Weapon, and just throwing it out there because if Buggy actually manages to get his hands on an ancient weapon, this would be another great reason to label him as one of the foremost dangerous pirates in the new world. I definitely recommend checking out a video that I collab with on Threevol's channel where we talk about the Throne Wars. As we go into the final saga, we are essentially in an arms race for the ancient weapons and the One Piece, and this would fit with this idea, and once again, knowing Oda, he would be the type of writer to give Buggy an ancient weapon even if it only is for a brief period of time for comedic relief. And so if you want more in-depth details about the Aegon Rogers ship, I would recommend checking out plenty of videos. I know O'Hara did one, Part Vision, and even Joy Girl, as they all have their own idea of this mysterious egg that can hold many secrets to the future of the One Piece story. But you let me know in the comments, why or how do you believe that Buggy became an emperor? And remember to subscribe and hit that like button to help the channel grow, and if you want to continue the journey to uncover the One Piece world's biggest mysteries, click on one of these two videos.
Okay, I'm gonna give him a like. Make sure you guys, go hit that link below to this video and go like his video and maybe go subscribe to his video as well. Go show Marshall D. Preach and Wizard of Oz some love. But yeah, as far as Buggy finding Laugh-Tale, like, I don't know. I don't know how I really feel about that. I could actually picture that happening. I don't know how he would find it. I don't really like the idea of him going with Shanks. You know what I'm saying? I honestly hope Shanks don't find Laugh-Tale. Honest. You know what I'm saying? But, if I believe Shanks is capable of finding it. We know he probably got the poneglyph while he was in Wano. He might be going to Whole Cake to get that poneglyph since Big Mom is out of the picture at the moment. He might have a poneglyph. There's still a fourth poneglyph that we don't know of, right? The one on Zoe, I don't know if he been to Zoe before. It's possible. Zunisha is hard to keep track of. So maybe he has like a Vivre card or something of Zunisha, So whenever he needs to go there, he can find it, so that's possible he has access to Zunisha as well. My theory has always been that Blackbeard and Luffy would be the two that find Laugh-Tale. But again, now that we know that Shanks is trying to find the One Piece, he is in the conversation. And I think he is very capable of finding it. Buggy, on the other hand, I would think it would be more Buggy-ish, right? It would be more of Buggy to accidentally find Laugh-Tale. Like what Preach said, like one thing he said was Buggy could potentially get locked up and put back in the Impel Down and escape again. Now, if you guys follow the O'Hara theory that he got from Uteron about Laugh-Tale being under the waterfall of Enies Lobby, and let's say that is true, right? And Buggy goes to Impel Down. Buggy will be very close to Enies Lobby, meaning he will be very close to Laugh-Tale. So maybe he tries to escape Impel Down, and he tried to leave through Enies Lobby. Now you gotta get through the gates of justice. So I don't know how he gets through the gates of justice, but that's one of those bridges you have to cross. You have to cross when we get there, right? But he gets through, and he gets through the gates of justice, and he is pretty much welcomed by this big waterfall that he can't really even avoid, and whoop, goes down the waterfall, he's in Laugh Tale. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that would be a very that would be a way we get Buggy and Laugh Tale accidentally in like the most Buggy-ish fashion. So make sure you go hit that like button. Also subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. Also comment your thoughts on the video. Did you agree? Did you disagree with what I said or what Preach said? You know, let us know. Share your thoughts. Follow me on Twitch. Also follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And join the Discord and the One Piece Facebook group. All of these will be in the description box below, as well as the link to Marshall D. Preach's video. So make sure you guys go show him some love. But it's your boy Sean P. the Bluff God, and I'm out of here. Peace.